Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl the Cobra Froch, former unified super middleweight world boxing champion and international boxing Hall of Famer. I'm delighted to, again, I think this is your hat trick, Mr. Amir
Yeah,
King Khan, former world champion. You know who he is, you know what he's done, you know where he's been. Amir Khan,
thank you, Carl.
delighted to be joined by you. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, thanks, Carl. It's always a pleasure speaking to you, bro. I'm here
Glad to-
in sunny Dubai. I heard it's been raining back at home. You've
Yeah, all
got
right, don't rub it in, mate.
sorry, mate. Sorry, I was asking, what's the weather like over where you are?
Do you know what? We had a really, really good May. May's been good, like exceptionally good
Yeah,
for Britain.
right.
And then now it started to rain a little bit. I went to the Cotswolds last couple of days with my missus for our wedding anniversary. What a beautiful part of the world. The weather was all right as well.
But you know what? You do have you have beautiful areas like that where you went there, Cotwall. That's nice. You've got some areas in like the north of England as well. But I mean, it's look, home's always going to be home, you know. So yeah, we do love the UK.
I was going to say, how are you finding Dubai? Because I know you've lived there now for a while. Have you settled in? Do you like it? You got any intentions of coming home?
No, look, I'll always say home is England. But I come here in COVID time when everything was more open and everything, and the weather does get really hot. Like in summer, it gets piping hot, and that's when I moved back to UK for like 2, 3 months. But other than that, I think the lifestyle here is amazing. The safety's awesome, and um, it's just. And I've been very lucky here because all the investments I've done here they've gone up by double and I'm paying zero tax. Whereas in the UK, I've done investments there and I've been hit by the tax very, very hard. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
that look, obviously as a now turning from being a fighter to obviously going into the business side of it, it's more affordable for me to move to Dubai and do my investments here and also still have my investments in the UK. But like I built a massive wedding hall there, giving around about 200 people jobs in the community. But the taxes are the ones that are killing everyone, and everyone's complaining because it's not only that we've got high taxes, Carl. We've also everything in the UK has gone up in price, like shopping and everything else.
Cost of living, yeah, is very high. I know what
Cost
you're
of
saying.
living,
I've
yeah.
I've spent a bit. I've actually made an investment into Dubai myself. I know we spoke about it
Right.
briefly. I'm looking at
Yeah.
potentially having a look out there, but I've got 3 kids. It's how they're going to adapt. So I'm going to give it a year to 18 months and have a look myself. But I've got a lot of friends, very wealthy friends, that have moved out there, and the benefits of living out there. And one of the
Yeah.
main ones when you've got children, the safety aspects, the safety in Britain now at the minute. A lot of people are worried when the kids
You know,
grow up. When they start going out, it's a
exactly.
concern. And unless you've got kids yourself, you can't really empathise or
You
understand what goes through a
exactly
parent's
because you
mind.
start thinking you have to think for them as a father, as a parent. You want to make sure your kids are
Absolutely.
going to be safe and they're going to be in good surroundings. And also, you know, one thing about Dubai, there's no drugs at all, which is amazing. 'Cause nowadays, kids are getting given drugs in schools and all that, and it's just wild out there. Then you've got crime, zero crime. You can just go let them, like one of my daughters now is going tennis, the other one's going to swimming, my third one is gonna also go swimming with the boy. So yeah, I mean look, they're always doing activities and keeping busy.
Cool. Well, anyway, I'll get straight into it, mate. We're going to have a little
Yeah,
quick chat just for the fans.
yeah,
People love it when me and you get together and have a little chat about boxing and normal
100%.
life. But I've recently saw you actually with Artur Beterbiev and
Yeah,
UFC pound for pound king Islam Makhachev. I mean,
yeah,
that was. I'm sure nobody was messing with you lot when you was out there. Imagine that, a little roll around with Khan and Beterbiev and
mate,
Makhachev. I mean,
solid guys. You
what was
know when you shake their
what was all
hand,
that
Carl.
about?
But then again, you had even when I remember met you, you had a very strong handshake as well yourself. You know what I mean? And you can see these guys have been guys. These are guys are type of people that have been training all their life. All they know is to train, train, train. That when you
Yeah,
obviously see the structure of their body, they're solid. You know what I mean?
yeah, they are.
Um, and that's from years of training. Now you had Beterbiev on one side of me, and the other side you had the UFC champ. And I thought, wow, I mean, if you was to ever go to war with someone or go to a fight, they're a team that you want on your side because they are two solid fighters. Um, yeah, a lot bigger than me. I mean, even look a lot bigger than because if you look at the weights, in weight wise, they're probably about 3, 4 weight. I think were they your weight, Carl?
Well, Beterbiev was up at light heavyweight. What was you doing there with them both anyway? What was that
Oh,
all
so
about?
basically they had a dinner. Well, sorry, the vice president of IBA boxing, which is the International Boxing Association, they had an event on for their son that was getting married. So it was a wedding
Right.
ceremony.
Okay.
Literally, bro.
Right.
They brought us all out, yeah, to the stage. So they wanted to call all the world champions and all the big sports stars. And bro, there must have been about 50 of us, and they called me to the stage, and there was all these wrestler, Olympic champion wrestler, world champion jiu-jitsu fighter. Like they had everyone. If there was a fight to happen, that room would take over anyone. I'm telling you, they had some solid people in there as well. It was just good to see these amateurs who I was looking up to when I was growing up, and also these professionals. And now you're sharing the same room as these people, and even now,
Yeah.
people like Beterbiev and fights like that are there, and they're coming over to you and shaking your hand and saying hi to you because and appreciating you. It goes a long way. I mean, you must get it as well, Carl. Like, obviously, we retired now. We retired around about the same time, and it's nice when another young champion comes over to you. We've been there, we've done it, but they come and show that appreciation, that respect. It goes a long way for us, you know. We appreciate
It
that.
does, yeah, 100%. I've had a few young fighters who I thought, how come? Why does he know who I am? Like, still, like, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney and
Yeah,
Ryan Garcia and that. And I just think they've obviously watched. They're obviously watching my channel, Froch on Fighting, the best in
100%.
the business. But they know
That's
my
it.
career and they've seen the highlights of Jermaine Taylor and they've seen the Pascal fight and the big fight
That
at
goes a
Wembley
long way.
Stadium.
That goes a long way because they're gonna
Exactly,
remember
they
you
still
for
good.
being
And
that great fighter. You know what I mean?
too right, yeah, and obviously being inducted into the Hall of
Look
Fame,
at them. Oh yeah, you got. When did? What year did you get inducted?
2023.
Right. And did you fly there? Did you go to Canastota?
Yeah, I went over to Canastota. It was good. I spent a lot of time with Roberto Duran and
Lovely guy, isn't
Riddick
he?
Bowe as well was there.
You know, when I went there a couple of years ago. I think I went there in 2009, no, 2020. And you know, you had these ex-fighters who have nothing now because they've not had. they've- It's sad because they've not had the right advisors around them. I think that's what it is, isn't it? And that's why this is something that for young fighters to know now is in life. Make sure that the three main things that you need in your boxing career is a good lawyer that's going to look after you and your interests, a good accountant who's going to make sure he's
Yeah,
going to make sure your money is safe, and
yeah,
also a good team. You know what I mean? Like a good
yeah,
manager that's going to take care of you. Because
yeah.
the thing is, I feel there's a lot of young fighters now who jump the gun and end up getting with the wrong team and end up getting abused a little bit.
Absolutely. Either that or go over to Dubai and bank your money out there and don't pay any tax on it. Then you're all right, aren't you?
You know, the funny thing is, Carl, I made the main money I made in my whole boxing career.
In
I
Britain.
I was a I was British and I paid the
Yeah.
British tax. So and now I'm retired. So really, I should have left about 10 years ago. It'd been all right.
No, exactly. No, that's what happens though. You realise what's going off when it's too late.
But you
But
know what?
it's
Yeah, but you know, to be honest with you, UK's been good to us as well. Honestly, I've had a great time in the UK and
no,
being there.
absolutely,
It's just
absolutely.
a shame that with the safety now and what's happening on the streets is it's just really bad.
Right, before we go on, a quick word from today's sponsor. Do you ever feel off and like your body can't quite keep up with you? Maybe you're training and eating well, doing everything right, but you still feel tired, unfocused, and totally flat. I recently learned that the chances are low testosterone is silently holding you back. That's why I decided to take Manual's at-home low testosterone test. Your testosterone levels peak in your 20s and then often will naturally decline by 1 to 2% every year after 30. So if you're feeling low on energy, having sleepless nights, or not just feeling how you used to, you can get back on the right track with this easy test kit from Manual. It turns out 1 in 4 men over 30 have low testosterone. If your levels are low, Manual's trusted doctors are on hand with their testosterone replacement therapy service to help you get back on track. So, if something feels off, check it. Don't let pride or bad habits stop you from taking your first steps to sorting yourself out. Use my code FROCH45 to get 45% off Manual's at-home testosterone blood test at trt.manual.co to get back to yourself. Right, now back to today's episode. Listen, mate, moving on, I want to ask you about the fight night that you're promoting in Ghana as part of
Mm,
AK Promotions. Are you excited for it? It's live on DAZN, I believe. And how did it all come
yeah,
about? And are you going to be promoting the show? Because I know you're getting involved now in
yeah,
promotion.
yeah.
How are you finding that?
I had my own promotion before as a fighter. Obviously, knew the game inside out. Whenever I used to do deals with Golden Boy, Top Rank,
Yeah,
uh, Oscar, and everyone, I used Amir Khan Promotions in association with Golden Boy, Top Rank, whoever, even with Eddie and everyone else, Matchroom. And then I thought, you know what? I know that how it works. It's all about getting a good TV deal, making sure that that covers a lot of costs. Sponsorships are amazing, where already we've got big sponsors that are going to be covering most of the cost of the show, and we are already in profit where we can look after our fighters now. We can give them maybe a little bit more, a bit of a bonus. End of the day, for me, it's not about making money. But it's not about me losing money in this as well. I don't want to lose money. I know I've met a lot of fighters, and they've said to me that we've thrown away a lot of money into promotion, thinking that it's going to grow, and it didn't grow. So I'm not in that position where I want to throw money to it and think. So I'm taking steady steps. This show in Ghana, I had a huge investment from the government of Ghana. Had a really good chat with them. I met them and met the young boys. So they said, "Listen, there you go. Let's put some money on the down on the table and let's put a show on." We've put a show on for them. Hopefully that's going to go really, really well. We've got Tabiti headlining. We've got my little cousin Abdul fighting on there as well, who's 13 and 0. I've also got O'Hara Davis. You probably know him from back in the day as
Yeah,
well.
I know him. Yeah, I had a bit of
Carl.
a beef with Eddie Hearn, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah. So O'Hara's on there as well, making a little comeback after he was beaten. Obviously had that big fight against Adam Azim. But look, I think look, I'm just gonna get my feet wet. I'm gonna take small steps. I don't want to
Yeah.
go in there and I want to go in there hard, but I know that's the mistake a lot of people have made, and they've lost millions. I don't want to do that. I never look, especially when you're living in Dubai, but you can't afford to lose millions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, good luck with it all. Sounds good. You're just dipping your toe in the water, but you've got backing as well. You've got your sponsors, which is covering the cost, which is great.
Going down my Instagram, and I saw that on the same day, I think it's in June. There's like
Mm.
four major fights on in four different locations on four different channels. That's crazy,
Yeah,
bro. Like
yeah, it's
boxing
hard
is
work. That.
grown so quick, but it's maybe grown too fast, in my opinion. Where maybe we want to go and see it how it used to be when we were fighters back in our days, where they'll only put the main fights on and there were good cards, stacked cards. Like
Yeah,
on our shows, there was like there'll be we never fought on each other's show, did we? Did we ever fight on each other's show?
no, no, we're never on the
Never
same
did.
bill. You was promoted by Frank Warren. I was with
Yeah.
another promoter. Then I ended up with Eddie
Yeah,
Hearn. But no, it has changed a lot. It's changing for the better, I think, and the fighters are getting looked
I
after more
think
and getting
so.
paid a hell of a lot more money. But you're right, Turkey Al Sheikh is not overspending anymore. He's not overspending. He's spent the big money to get his foot in the door. He's worked out how the boxing business
System
works.
works.
Worked out that it's the vestige remains of the wild fucking west. And he's thought to himself, right, I'm going to clean this up and I'm going to take
He's
this
in the
in a
mix
different
now.
direction.
And now
You know
he's
what I
in
mean?
the mix with the top guys. Now, when you say boxing promoters and boxing, when you mention boxing, the first name that comes to your lips is Turki Al Sheikh. He has taken boxing to a different level. And now, with this TKO promotion, I did read something about it that obviously he's got Dana coming in there. Now, Dana is one of the most successful fighting sport promoters ever, like with the UFC, what he's done with that. Now, if he's going to
Yeah.
come in power and come into boxing now, taking with him the experiences made in the UFC. I mean, and
Yeah,
how then
definitely.
go with Turkey, experience and money together. I mean, I think
It's got big potential,
every
that's for
promoter's in
sure.
trouble. Big potential,
Absolutely
but big
potential.
fights and massive shows. But if you look at what Turkey's done in the last probably 3 4 years, the best of what the best. Now, how many big fights are left like that?
Yeah,
Like
I know what you're
Usyk,
saying.
Fury,
It's the end of a
Maybe
generation.
Usyk,
The end of a
uh,
generation.
and maybe Fury and Joshua's another big one. That's
Well,
a
I was
big
going to
one.
ask you about that. Actually, moving on, that's a nice segue to one of the questions. Tyson Fury's hinting about coming out of retirement, and I don't know. What do you think? Do you want to see him stay retired, or would you like to see him come back and fight Anthony Joshua in the fight that never happened? Are you
Um,
interested in it? Think it's a good one?
I am interested in that fight. I would be. I am interested in that fight, and
Yeah,
why? Because I think they're both at the same level. Now I know people are gonna say, but
both past the best.
few past the best, so let them go and make them millions, and it's still gonna be an exciting fight for boxing fans. How are even though they're not at the prime anymore, but I think they're both probably at the same level.
Yeah, possibly. Who have you got winning? Who have you got winning that one?
I don't know. I think Joshua, with the power he has to jump on Fury. He can take that fight. But then again, Fury just knows how to outbox. And look, it's a hard fight to call because maybe before the Dubois fight, I would have said Joshua. But after that Dubois fight, I might lean more towards Fury now. Look,
I
Fury.
think you've hit the nail on the head, mate. After Joshua got absolutely fucking ironed out by Dubois, and look how good Fury looked against Usyk in that rematch. I think that Fury runs rings around AJ
Mhm.
mentally and just physically, more ability, but mentally, the mind going into the ring. I think AJ would struggle badly with that fight, but that's just my opinion for what it's worth.
Yeah. I mean, a loss like that, it does take a lot out of you. And yeah,
It does.
I've met since then. I met AJ, and I don't know, like he doesn't. I felt sorry for him a little bit because he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and a lot of people wanna. They've expected so much from him.
He's got a lot of pressure, and they've expected a lot from him, and there's a lot of weight on his shoulders. But he gets paid well for it. He's rewarded well.
Yeah,
Not many fighters earn the kind of money he's earning. So, with
yeah,
with that
true.
kind of pressure, he's getting his just rewards. Look at the fights that people have been involved in, where people get knocked out and badly hurt, and they don't get paid. So it's all right with that pressure and worry. But for me, high level sportsmen, whether you're a golfer, a tennis player, a boxer, a footballer, you're under pressure, and that's what separates us from the also rans: the ability to perform under pressure.
We do get paid well when we were fighters, and then with the abuse that we get from fans and media and criticism that we get from the press, you have to deal with it because you're getting paid so massive packets that you have to just say, okay, fine, it's part of the package.
Yeah, but don't forget, not all fighters get paid big money as well. There's a lot of
Yeah, not
fighters
all.
out
No,
there doing
not all. Yeah, exactly. I'm only talking about the top fighters. Yeah. So, like,
top level.
luckily,
So if you,
me and you were probably one of the lucky ones back then. Maybe you could say David Hay as well. There's only very few, so very
there's
small.
not
You
many.
can
No, you
only
can
play
name it on one hand, mate. You can go right back to you can name it. If you jump in if I'm wrong. But if you say the money people that have made money out of boxing, if you go back to say I don't know, if you go back to Benn and Eubank, then you move forward to Nassim Hamid, Lennox
Mohammed,
Lewis, Ricky Hatton. I don't
Ricky
think Joe
Hatton.
Calzaghe did as well as he should have done. And then you've got
Yeah,
me,
but
David Hay,
I don't think.
yourself, and then all of a sudden you're running out of the list of people that has actually made decent money out of the sport up until recent times with the Turkey Al Sheikh
Yeah,
stuff.
it's only
It's only
recently when I took a shit
handful of
coming. Yeah,
fighters.
because you are 100% right there, Cole. You know what? It's not many. It's like you can count on probably. Yeah, it's only probably you can only name like 10 fighters who we know that have made money and also made a name for themselves, and that can live the rest of their life. You know what they said? I saw a statistic that when people said someone said that only 1% of boxers make enough money to live the rest of their life
Yeah, that makes sense.
like
That's quite
comfortably.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
and it is a dog sport because you get promoters who sometimes might make more than you. That's why I want to go in the promotional game and I want to help my fighters. I want to help these young fighters and see like where I thought I was fucked over or I got messed about in. I don't want to do that for them. I want them to have the comfort. You know what I mean? I want them to be comfortable and happy going into the fights. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. That's nice. It's
yeah,
admirable that
and then
ethic
giving
trait.
bonuses is good as well. I mean, give bonuses. And what the other day I got a message from one of the guys that is helping me, JB, and he goes to me. JB says to me, "Oh, they want to bring another fighter. The coach wants to bring. No, sorry, the boxer wants to bring another coach." I said, "Listen, bro, what's the flight gonna cost? You know what? Just bang it in for him, no problem. Because you know what, we want the fighters to be comfortable as well. I know that I could have been awkward, like an old school promoter, and said, nah, in the contract it says two coaches, you can't bring a third one unless he has to pay for it or it comes off his purse. So we don't want
Yeah,
to be
that's true.
idiots. You know what I mean? You have
Yeah,
to
it's good
be
of you. Good of
lenient
you to
as
do
well.
that.
Yeah,
Right, let's move on. Let's move on and try and get through these next few questions because we could
yeah,
probably
yeah.
chat all day, mate. And I've got a
Mm.
couple of bits I want to ask you. Let's start with Manny Pacquiao. He's coming out of retirement now. He's at age 46, fighting Mario Barrios. And he's not fought for over 4 years. Walked straight into a WBC title fight. I mean, I know it's Manny Pacquiao, and does he deserve does he
Yeah.
deserve a WBC title shot? Probably because it's Manny Pacquiao. But what do you think of him coming back and then jumping straight in for a world title against Barrios?
You know what? Yeah, a lot of people are going to think it's unfair because there's guys and there's boxers out there who have been in the line for ages and not got the chance to fight for that BC title and they want to fight for it. So, yeah, but because he's such a big name, but then again, I look at it because the belts are going to look at it as a sanctioning fee. The sanctioning fee that they're going to get in that fight is going to be times 10
Yeah, true.
compared to a fight that's going to happen. Secondly, Barrios I know really well. I think he's a lovely fighter. I think he boxes well. He's strong. You know, I trained with him with Virgil Hunter back in the
Oh,
day
really?
when I was training for my maiden fights. He was also in camp with me. Lovely guy, and I know I know one thing about him that he worked very hard. Um, Not the most skillfulest, but the hardest, most hardworking fighter I know. And he's proved himself. He's climbed that ladder slowly and he's got there. I'm so happy for him that he's making the money he's gonna make, and he deserves it more than anyone because I've seen him from making probably not getting paid for fights and just about trying to be on fight shows. Like I remember him one time negotiating with someone. Oh, can you put me on this fight, please? I've been training for like over 8 weeks and 10 weeks, and I'm not got a fight date yet. Can you please put me on? Like when you look at fighters and they're asking these managers or these promoters to, and they're begging them to put me on shows. And look,
Yeah.
now it's just time. So I'm really really happy for him, and I'm sure the money he's gonna make this fight is gonna be. It's going to be a lot of money for him and his family. That's going to
So that's
change their
nice then
life.
for Barrios to make some money at the end of his career. Brilliant. That's good.
It's
What do you make of Manny
fantastic.
Pacquiao? What do you make of Manny Pacquiao coming out of retirement now at 46 after having 4 years out of the ring? What do you think for that?
I don't know if people are going to say, is it to do with the money? I don't think it is.
You
I
wouldn't
don't
have
think
thought
he's
so, would
gone
you? You would
broke.
have thought he's
But you
made
don't
enough
know. You
dough.
don't know nowadays.
That's
Or
true.
is it because politics, you have to understand, Carl, politics, you have to invest and put in a lot of money to stay in that position, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, and especially in those type of countries like Pakistan's very similar, and also Philippines is very similar. There's where you have to invest a lot of your own money into it to stay in the position that you want to stay in, like as a senator, as a whatever, so as a governor, whatever. But I think with Manny, I just feel that maybe he misses the sport and misses the hype. He's maybe
Yeah.
looking now at these. Answer me one question, Carl. Is this fight under Turkey Sheikh, like under their promotion?
Yeah, I don't think that fight's got anything to do with Turkey Al Sheikh.
Right.
It's in Vegas actually on the same night as Dubois Usyk. I'm not sure what sort of backing it's got, but it's in Vegas. So, and there's been no
I
mention
think
of
with Manny
Turkey.
Pacquiao, I think it'll probably be on pay per view, probably on an American TV channel. I
Yeah,
think a fight
possibly
like that,
actually.
will Manny's always going to put bums on seats, A, and B, he's always going to get good pay per view numbers. People want to see what type of fight it's going to be and what type of Manny Pacquiao is going to come to the fight. So I think it'll be a great fight. Is he going to be able to win this fight? Yes, because I just feel that the speed is still there. I saw him on the pads. I saw him
Yeah,
training. The speed's still there, but then is the timing going to be there? We don't know. Is the punch resistance going to be there? I don't know, because Barrios can bang, and
yeah,
yeah, he's a good boxer. He's quite tall and he keeps it
yeah,
long. But so has Manny still got them tools? And it'll be sad to see if Manny come there and he got beat and had to leave again, because people will be like, why did he come back? Then all that criticism is going to start again. And it look
yeah.
bad
Well,
for his campaign maybe as well if he's going to
he's
try to go for
46 years old. I
politics.
mean, he's only a year younger than me, so I'm gonna have a look at see how he performs. And if he's got like 3 minute rounds in him, and he can do six, seven, eight, nine rounds,
Carl, so answer that. You maybe you'll be able to answer it better. If you was coming back now and you had to go back into a full on training camp, had the whole team, had the whole nutrition, everything sorted out, could you still be able to do it? And
mate,
do you
I
reckon you could do
reckon.
like a 12 round
You
fight?
know what it is? I think I'm a bad example because I'm a fucking machine.
Why?
I'm elite level. I keep myself
Ah,
well. I keep myself
so
well.
so
I mean, I reckon I could
listen.
come back now and just like there's people like Jake Paul and Darren Till and other
No,
people
okay.
running them
Let's
now.
put it up. Put it to someone a little bit better than that, like the next level up.
World
Say
level.
someone
If I
that's
come back
maybe con-
an active world
contender.
champion or an active fighter, it'd be difficult now.
Name
I retired
name
11
some,
years ago.
because I'll just work it
Well,
out.
well, if you look at somebody like Callum Smith, who's obviously been beaten at world level, but he's still hovering around. Good fighter. He just beat who did he beat? He beat
So you're the
Boac-
same way as Caleb Plant as well.
Callum's like, yeah, Caleb Plant. I mean, good fighter.
Caleb Plant.
For them sort of fighters, listen, I've got to be honest and say, would I be able to beat them? Probably not,
I think.
because the fitness, you've got to be fit for 12 3 minute
Yeah,
rounds.
but
But
Carl, in
if you
12,
then
listen,
trained for it and got back in the gym,
I
maybe, who
honestly
knows?
think, I honestly think if you put yourself in a 12-week camp with everything else, your fitness would be there. You'll be 100% fit. You'll be able
It's
to do
getting
12
through the
rounds.
camp. That's the problem. It's getting through the camp, not just
The aches
physically,
and
which
pains,
would be cool.
yeah, the
Mentally as well.
tears,
How much do you want it? How
yeah,
much do you
yeah.
need it? Do you really want to be getting up doing the runs and doing the sparring? Because that's a big part of it. I mean, if you were
Yeah.
to fight again, would you have one more fight again? If you was, who would you fight? Do you know? Flipping
Um,
back on you.
Maybe a Manny Pacquiao, maybe like a Manny Pacquiao fight. But
Yeah, because you was
other
looking
than
for the
that,
Manny
other than that,
Pacquiao fight.
yeah, because it's like a mega fight. But other than that, I don't think anything would interest me.
No. What about
Nah,
Mayweather? He's still going in. Mayweather's still floating around and he's still having a go. Still tickling
bro,
around.
and he's what? He must be in his 50s almost, is
He's the
it?
same age as me as well. He's like a year younger than me or a year older. His birthday's like he's born in 1977, same as me. Still fighting, still jumping in the ring. I mean, I know it's not at world level, but he's still
Because
physically capable to do it.
You've still kept in good shape if you think about it. And I think that
Absolutely,
if you had to,
fantastic shape.
if you, if you had to come back, I think it'd be quite easy for you to probably get back into it as well. I'm not
Potentially,
telling
mate.
you to. I'm not trying to change your mind and coming back. But I mean, I think you still would. You still do well against, like, say, someone like Kala Plant, because
Yeah, I think
his
you know what
work rate.
Caleb Plant.
I
He's a good
think
little
you
fighter,
beat
is you
him.
know. He's a
But
good
I
fighter
think
though.
you'd still be able to beat him, depending if you like, even if you had 60% of what you had when you was at your peak. I think you'd be giving him big
Yeah, he's
problems.
not. He's not a massive puncher, but he can fight a bit. He's got some skills. What did you make actually? Moving on ever so subtly. What did you make of Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn? Did you
Oh
like that
yeah,
fight? We've not spoke about that yet. Did you enjoy it?
yeah. It was a good fight, wasn't it? It was just the
Competitive.
build up was good. The build up obviously got us right behind it. And yeah, I mean, it was, big respect to Eubank because no, sorry, Ben, for putting all that weight on, going up, and he put on a good fight. And at one stage, it looked like he was the pressure fighter. He's the one that's coming forward, throwing them big bombs, and what did you take out and give that excitement to everyone. Whereas with Eubank, I think he was just a bigger guy and obviously used his power. Uh, was that cut from a headbutt that Eubank suffered in the was it in the early rounds? So
I
he
think
was
it might have
cut. I
been.
don't know
Yeah,
if it was the headbutt,
they came
but I
close
think
together. Then the heads came
yeah,
together.
I think that gave a little bit more confidence to Ben when that happened because he then
Mm,
started to push him back even more, saying, "Look, I've hurt him. I've caught him with a shot, or maybe it could have
yeah.
been the head." But I've blooded him up a little bit, and you will probably know this as a fire. When you sometimes see blood, it brings that fire at you as well. You wanna go for the
Yeah, you
kill
look like
then.
you've injured your opponent. You think, right, I've got him cut now. I can open that up more. I could do some more damage. It does give you a bit of inspiration. But Conor Ben was up at what was it, 160, and he's usually a 147 fighter. So he's coming up a couple of weight divisions. But with that weight, with that rehydration clause, don't forget, Chris Eubank Jr. done his absolute bollocks on the scales. He was well depleted and really fucking in trouble, taking them last few pounds off. So that affected him.
Yeah, and that must take a lot out of you. But not only that, was there like a rehydration clause the next day as well
Yeah, the
before
ten
the ring?
pound, £10 limit. That's the problem. Do you want to see a rematch? Are you interested in a rematch, or have you seen what you need to see?
Not if there's gonna be the same shit again, like the £10 thing, and because I know every fighter, even I used to go more than £10, maybe £11, whatever,
But if
£12.
Eubank comes in a lot heavier on the night, like 13 stone, which he could probably do, down from 160. So if he's down at like 11 and a half stone, and he goes up, he puts a stone and a half on, then he'll be far too big for Connor.
And it's not a fair fight then. So you have to feel for both fighters. It's not fair. I don't think the fight needs to happen again.
I think we've seen what we need to see, and it was a good fight, wasn't it?
And we saw the humor between both fathers as well. And then it was good to see how Eubank come out the car and his dad had walked out with him. It was just nice, them little things.
Yeah,
So yeah, it just shows that from that era, the last era where you had Eubank and Ben fighting, now their kids are fighting each other. So at least it's happened. It's been done. But I don't think a
obviously.
rematch should happen. I don't think it's gonna be fair, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
I know what you're saying, mate. I mean, we've seen what we need to see. I thought the first fight was good. It wasn't elite level. I don't think any world
No,
champions
no,
at that
it
weight
wasn't
division would
elite
be
level,
worried.
but it was
But it
it
was a
was good for that
competitive fight, and it was good value,
competitive
very
fight.
good value, and really good value for boxing, really good advert for boxing. Everybody who don't really understand the sport, all they would have seen is a really, really good competitive close fight. The right man won, and yeah, I think onwards and upwards now for both fighters.
For both fighters, because even though Ben lost that fight, I think he did himself proud. He did himself, and he's got a good future in the sport as well. Now imagine he goes in. I think Ben would beat a guy like Barrios.
Do you think?
I mean, yeah, I think Ben can beat him if he fought the way he did. I think Ben fights better with guys a little bit taller than him and who are like boxers. Because Ben's a rough type of guy. Now Barrios fights a little bit like Eubank sometimes, a little bit slick but tall, long.
Yeah.
And I think that was if Ben fights the way he did, he can beat someone like Vargas because the power would not push him back or hurt him. But God forbid, Manny Pacquiao wins. I think it's another big fight. Manny can come to UK and take that fight against Ben as well. So Ben's in a good position. Do you not think he's in? I think he's in a good position. I think doing that fight, even taking that loss, has put his ratings a little bit higher.
Yeah, it's not done him any damage. Not done him any damage at that weight
Not
division as
only
well.
and not only that. Like when he was in America, I saw his Instagram posts. Um, People started making memes out of it, but I liked it because he's getting recognized now in America. And
Yeah,
people
true.
start making memes, oh, look at him now. No, he's happy because you know why? He shows that all the hard work he's done in all his life now, he's getting appreciated for. And
Yeah,
I like
fair enough.
seeing that when fans are driving past him and beeping and saying, you get that as well, Carl, but back in the days when you were fighting about people that I was going Carl, people said it to me when they were driving past and said, good luck champion your next fight. It does make you happy and it shows you that you're
Yeah,
doing
I know what you're
something
saying.
good in the
When I
sport.
saw the Conor Benn stuff in America, though, I had flashes of David Brent little memes coming up where where it's like getting spotted, and he knows who I am. He knows what I've done. Anyway, moving on. Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois, the rematch. Looking forward to that one. Actually, I am. It's coming up soon. How do you see that one going? I know Usyk's El Supremo, but Dubois looked good in his last few fights. You seen what he did to Anthony Joshua?
Dubois, especially with the last couple of wins that he's had and the knockout against Anthony Joshua, his confidence is going to be there. He's going to start bleeding. He's younger. He's fresher. He's going to have a lot more to give and show. And because it's a good fight now, you know why? Because when he fought the first time, he really wasn't a name when he fought Usyk. And it's caught with that body shot. He knows he can hurt him. He thinks it was a legit body shot that put him down. But he got counted as giving him time. It was a low shot, but at the same time, I think Dubois now is a different fighter to what he was the first fight. So now
Yeah, I agree.
I think
It's
he'll
very
give it
interesting,
big.
isn't it
But
now?
then again, Carl, fighters like that who might have more confidence and they'll go into that fight against someone like Usyk and saying, you know what, I'm gonna do this more now. I'm gonna try this more. I'm more confident. I'm more of a better fighter. They're the ones that might get outclassed even easier. Maybe
Yeah,
because
it's possible.
when he was fighting him the first time, he was careful. He was
A bit more
smarter.
cagey.
He knew, yeah, he was very cagey, thinking, I don't know what I'm gonna expect. I'm fighting the best ever, you know what I mean? In Usyk, one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. But now, because he might be overconfident, or he might think, I've got his number, I know how to beat him, and he opens up a little bit more, he'll end up getting caught more. He might get hurt more. Might be an
Yeah,
easier fight for Usyk.
my problem with it is to beat Usyk, other than knocking him out, which has never been done. I think he's been down once in his career. I know he got dropped to that body shot in their first fight, but if you're going to knock somebody out, you've got to hit them flush and clean, and it's got to be a shot they probably don't see coming. And with Usyk, he's that clever and that is that good that you don't really hit him with a shot that you don't see coming. So even the shots that hit him, he kind of rides them or blocks them or rolls away from them. So it's difficult to catch him clean. So the only way you're really going to beat him is by outworking him and outpointing him, which means you've got to be getting your jab off. You've got to be busy with
and
your
and and
punches. And
then he's gonna end up getting caught a lot as well. So he has to understand. So the game plan needs to have in this fight. Yeah, the game plan needs to have in this fight is go in there, throw a lot more shots, maybe double the output of the punches, but you can get caught in between a lot as well. So it's about you taking them shots, but keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. Maybe that's the only way he can probably win this fight. And maybe he has that same strategy. Be hard though.
yeah, you've got to be super fit to keep up the work rate. You've got to be confident to let the shots go. And it can't just be carelessly letting punches go because Usyk, non-stop movement, slip to the left, slip to the right.
Even though Dubois is a technical fighter, technically he's not gonna win that fight. And I
Not,
don't
he's
think
not
he's
good
gonna
enough.
knock
No.
out Usyk. So the only
No.
way of beating Usyk is out punching him,
Yeah.
out pointing him, and just
Unless he goes hell for leather and catches him with a shot. I mean, we don't say lucky shots in boxing exist, but there's a couple of ones where people have shut their eyes and thrown her overhand right, and they've landed shots. It has been
yeah.
seen. So Usyk does carry the power to hurt Usyk, and I think he might have to. If he wants to win the fight, he might have to rely on that power and try and get to him. But it's a tough ask, but it's a good fight. It's a fight I'm looking forward to. It's a proper fight for boxing fans and for the non-boxing fans as well.
It's just a shame that Dubois really isn't a bigger name like a Fury was. But like
Yeah, he's
AJ is.
building a bit. Since absolutely flattening AJ, he's grown a bit in stature and his confidence and his publicity. His popularity has gone up since that fight. Don't forget, because that was a
Did you
bad
watch the AJ
knockout.
fight?
Yeah, I had a look at it. I watched it replay about 40 times as well, watching AJ do the breakdance. No, not really, but I know I saw the fight. It was a bad knockout, wasn't it, for AJ? Let's
You
be
know,
honest. He
I
got
knock out like that now. How what as a boxer, if you got knocked out that bad, because I have been knocked out quite badly when I fought
yeah.
against Prescott.
See, I'm not in that club. You see, I could never comment
Did you
on what it's
never?
like to be
Yeah,
knocked
you
out.
don't know.
Mate,
It. How do you think
never
though?
been
How
rendered unconscious ever.
that's good, bro.
I've been
Yeah,
knocked down twice in my career. Once by Jermaine Taylor, I got up to win, and also got knocked down by George Groves, and I got up to win. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
difficult for me to
yeah.
empathise with people that are getting ironed out because it never happens to the Cobra, does it? And I'm not being big-headed or anything. It's just like I've just never been knocked
It's never
out.
happened. It's never happened. So respect that. It's never happened.
What am I gonna,
You're
what am I
solid.
gonna
No,
do? I mean, don't shoot
you
the
had a
messenger.
very good chin. You had a very good chin. But a fight like that, do you think is AJ ever gonna come back from something like that? Is it hard? I don't know.
I
Maybe
think,
because
I think, listen, I think he struggles to come back confidence-wise. Why I said earlier about the Tyson Fury fight, which we spoke about. When AJ gets in the ring with Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury is absolutely running ragged at the press conference and the weigh-in and got inside his head. And then when Fury gets in the ring and gets behind that jab and uses his feet and throws combination punches, and AJ can't get
is
near
that
him,
fight even gonna happen? I know we're
well,
talking about it.
prob- probably not. But Tyson Fury is in the gym, and AJ, well, certainly Eddie Hearn is begging for the fight, isn't he? So it's going to make
Eddie makes
it's going
that
to
big
make
money.
money. So if it makes money, it makes sense. So the fight will
Yeah, yeah,
probably happen, and it is a big
yeah.
fight. It does fill Wembley Stadium. It does because of the names, but it's past its best. It's past its sell by date, but it's one that people will still tune in to watch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, no, it will be. It'll be a massive fight that people want to see because it's just for boxing fans. It's a good treat. It's a good night out, and also
Absolutely.
it will sell. It will sell. Just to see, you know, sometimes it's like when I fought against Kel. Even though we both were done, it still sold big, big. It's just sold out like crazy. I think this will do another fight just the same, where it will sell big and heavy. So I think as a promoter they should as a promoter or as businessmen both fighters should agree terms and get that fight done.
Yeah, I agree as well. Right, moving on to the last but not least, I want to ask you your opinion because
Yeah,
Crawford and Canelo are fighting. That's a big
yeah,
fight.
for them
What I'm
both.
really looking forward to. You've fought both them fighters. Um, Out of your weight division, Ray. I mean, I know Crawford was more around your weight division, but it's a
Yeah,
big lump, and
bro,
you'd had a couple of.
Crawford is
Well,
massive. Like honestly, I'm not
big,
gonna lie
he
to
is
you,
a
bro.
big
Like
lump.
I've
I've met him,
stood it. You met him now. You see a
and I stood
thick
with him, and I
and
thought,
big.
hang on a minute, he's a
How are
big
you
lad, big
making?
unit.
But how's he made back in the day? Making what was it? Did he start off at like super feather,
Mate, he's been down at, yeah, exactly, super
feather,
feather, like nine and a
feather?
half stone, whatever. Like, it's
like
ridiculous.
bro, and I'm
He's
like, because he's
developed.
tall, and not only tall, like but he's thick. So anyway, when I was in training camp with him, he was wrestling these like heavyweights and taking them out, bro. Like the guy's background is wrestling as well. So when
Really.
it comes down to strength and size, he knows how to handle. He was sparring like these big heavy guys, and they were doing a little bit with me as well. But obviously, he was pushing them back and is like using his weight against them. And I
Yeah.
thought, wow. So when
So
I got
physically
when I
strong.
yeah, very, very, very strong, which people don't give him the credit for. Now, going into this fight against, I fought both fighters. I fought Canelo, I fought Crawford, but I do lead more towards Crawford in this fight. Why? Because
Really.
Crawford can hold the size, hold the weight well, and also he can bang hard. As he's put on the weight and the size, he can hit a lot harder. Now, okay, he's not gonna knock out someone like Canelo. I don't think he'll be able to knock him out, but he'll be able to stun him and tell him that I'm in front of you. And also at the same time, I think he'll be able to push him back a little bit as well. You know what I mean? To say, look, I am here to fight. Um, Technically, Crawford is the better fighter, and I think
Do you think?
technically,
Do you think technically he is the better fighter? Because obviously
hundred
Canelo's a
percent.
very technical fighter. He's good. I know
Oh no,
Crawford's
no,
like mustard.
Canelo is, but I just think Crawford's much more smarter and being a southpaw, and he's not gonna run like the last guy did. Who
Yeah.
Skull when he fought against
Oh yeah.
he's gonna be,
Yeah.
and I know
Street.
one thing about Crawford. Obviously, he switches, but at the same time, he likes to make you. He likes to stay close and make you miss a little bit and counter you good. And and
Mm.
his punches are perfect, and he'll keep on tapping you, tapping you, tapping you, and get you frustrated.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I've seen him in sparring as well with the other guys when we was in camp. That he'll be sparring these guys who maybe are getting better of him, but then he'll just slowly break them down. He'll break them down, and then his time will come. Now, Canelo, in my opinion, is getting a little bit too old now. Maybe getting past his best. He's been in a lot of wars. If you look, the last 15 years, the guy's been fighting top level fighters. So that's
yeah,
gonna it's
true.
gonna catch up on you, you know what I mean? So in my opinion, I do lean. I like Canelo after the fight. He waved at me after the fight and he says, I mean, like he shows me a lot of respect, but and I can't be on. I can't say he's gonna win that fight because I think that Crawford will pull the upset. A lot of people are
How do you
saying. A lot of people think Canelo's gonna win though, but no,
how
unless
do
he
you think
knocks.
Crawford? How do you think Crawford's going to take the power from Canelo? Because he fought Madrimov, didn't he? And it went the distance. And a lot of people said, "Oh, he's gone up a bit in weight and he's gone the distance with him.
But
Didn't
you have
look
to understand,
great."
Madrimov was more at his peak and was still a elusive fighter. Whereas Canelo, I don't think he still has that fire in his belly. He just boxes just to win or maybe get the
But he
check.
can still bang Canelo, can he? He can punch. He's a big puncher, and he's naturally bigger and stronger. Do you think Crawford can cope with that power?
Did the power hurt? Did any time in that Madrimov fight, do you think Crawford was hurt?
No, I don't think he was hurt, but the fact that he went the distance, he wasn't able to do much from Madrimov, would say to me that Canelo can maybe close the distance and land some big shots. And my problem is, can Crawford soak up the punch power? You've seen it in sparring. Have you ever seen him hurt? You ever seen him looking like he's outpowered or outmuscled in the ring, or does he look solid?
Oh, was solid.
Really?
I think the only time, I know he beat
Some
me, but the only time he
fighter.
had problems, the only time he had problems in sparring was when I was sparring with him. And I'm not just saying that. I'm just honestly, I gave him a little bit of problems,
Well, your
but that
hand
was
speed,
after
no, your hand speed though
hand
in the,
speed.
in
Yeah, that was
sparring.
after the fight. That was after the hour fight we
Oh,
had.
was
Obviously,
it?
he beat me, but I'm just saying, like when I was sparring with him, I gave him a lot of problems in sparring, and he was good. But look, but he's a good fighter, and I've got him going into this fight as the A side. Really, I know people like I said a bigger guy. Just like no, no, no.
Well, that's
Look,
fair enough. Listen, that's why I asked you because it's very
Crawford's never
interesting.
been beat, and he's just his mindset. He's a very strong-minded guy. Like bro, like he's and yeah, he can. If you look at him around fight time, he does look a bit scary. You know what I mean? You know when I fought him back in New York, like this
Yeah,
motherfucker had this like stone cold look, and
that look
even
about
his
him. Yeah.
team, like bro, like he was ready to war, and I'm like, bro, like fucking, it's a sport, innit? Let it be. What's up here?
Chill out, man.
Like,
Chill out,
like
man. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, chill out, man. Like I remember at the hotel, and then you know what he'll do? He'll walk past my whole team, nudge them, and he
Really.
turn around like what? Like and
Yeah.
like
So
you know what I mean?
solid.
Like and
He's got beef, which is
he's
good in
got
the ring.
beef, yeah. Like he wants that, and he's a nice guy outside, but like when it's wartime, he's not a nice guy. Like
He's
he
mentally solid, isn't
he's mentally solid, and he's looking from the streets, bro. Like the guy's a
he?
proper
Yeah.
dude, you know what I mean?
So you've
So
heard it here first. Amir Khan has got Terence Crawford as the favourite going into the Canelo Alvarez fight, and
I
you
do.
can't really argue with him. And then we know size is different, and in a weight-governed sport, size is a big advantage. But he's a big unit. He can wrestle. He spars big lumps, and he's confident. And Canelo might just be on the slide. Well, he is. He's past his best. His best
I
years
think
are
he's
behind
past
him.
his best.
Canelo.
He's on a slide a little bit,
So
and I think
very interesting fight.
he's gonna get the same Canelo. Not sound bad and not sound rude in any way, but I think it's gonna be like the similar fight to how Mayweather beat Canelo in that fight. You know, he just boxed him and out punched him and beat him with and that was when Canelo was at his peak. Well, maybe a little bit
Yeah,
younger then, but
yeah,
how
that's
Mayweather
interesting.
beat him, I think Crawford will do it the same way, same thing, the same way.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that input, Amir. Amir, I really appreciate it. It's always good to have you on as well. We'll wrap it up very shortly. I just want to give you the opportunity
Yeah.
to maybe say something to your fans. Have you got anything you want to put? I know we've talked about your promotion, but any final
Yeah, I
comments from
mean the
yourself? I'll let you
promotion.
go.
Yeah, I mean the promotion things. I'm just gonna get my feet wet, see how it is, and I want to help the next generation of boxers, and that's all it is really, called. I just want to give the opportunity to young fighters and give them that limelight, you know, that they deserve. And hopefully see what it's like because we've always been on the other side as fighters, but this time I'm being on the promoter side. And other than that, just head down, keeping busy, family man, and just enjoying life. Really, like retirement now, and I'm one of the lucky ones, like Carl as well. That obviously we work so hard in our career. And this is a little message out to our young fighters out there: is that work hard now, because then later on in your career, when you do retire, you can live the rest of your life and enjoy it and live in peace. And
Absolutely, I second that.
in it,
That's good advice. That's good advice. And like you said earlier, a good lawyer, a good accountant, and be smart with your money. Don't be frivolous. Don't waste your money because it's hard to earn. You
no,
don't know when your next payday's coming.
you don't know when your big next payday is coming, and you don't know when anything can happen. Yeah,
I'm going to be coming out to Dubai, Amir, for a little tour. So I think
yeah,
I'm out there in September, October sometime when the kids are off school for the half term. But I'm
yes,
looking forward to having a look around your pad, seeing what
yeah,
the day-to-day life is in Dubai. And
yeah.
until then, mate,
So then
you
let's have a
enjoy
catch up
yourself.
then. Hopefully, yeah.
Absolutely.
When you booked up and everything, let me know, and then we'll
Absolutely.
definitely catch up.
Good
And
luck.
we'll show you the area around and come to the house for dinner.
Looking forward to it, mate. Good luck with your promotion and
Thank you,
everything
bro.
else. Good luck with your wife and your kids, and we'll catch up very
God
soon,
bless,
no
bro.
doubt. And thank
Appreciate it,
you,
man. Thank you, bro. Take
for
care. God
coming on,
bless.
man.
Thanks,
Always a
Charles.
pleasure. Thank you.
Take care, bro.
Well, that was a good little chat, wasn't it? Always good to catch up with Amir King Khan, see what's happening in the boxing world, see what he's up to. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And this episode was brought to you by Cobra Casino. See you next time.